Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Shows, Style, and Spirit. I am Ebony, of course. And as you can see from the title of this video, I want to talk about how the cast could potentially ice Martell out from filming Love and Marriage Huntsville. Because in my opinion, production, they're not going to do the responsible thing and protect Melody, maintain her safety. And in case the law, legal justice doesn't come through, it would be up to the cast to do what is right, and protect a Black woman, as that hashtag says, protect Black women. So put your money where your mouth is. So let's talk about it. Now, before we get into some things, I ask that you please hit the like button on this video and please subscribe to the channel. And everything that I'm saying in this video is alleged and just my opinion. Okay, so thanks to all of the amazing content creators, including Trending at some point, and Queen Sheba, and countless others, and Diana Rose, and so many wonderful content creators who have talked about the no contact order, the enhanced order to protect Melody from Martell Holt. It just made me think about how can we get rid of this Negro so that she can film freely and around everyone all the time. And maybe he'll finally get it through his head that, you are not God, you are not in control, and you cannot control where she goes and who she talks to and who is in her life and her money and her product line and how she spends her time with her kids. Something's got to give. So I want to talk about if the cast were to ice out Martell. Now, I know that we're dealing with some pick-me's on this cast. I know that we are dealing with some people who want to be down, who want to be in the partying scene, kind of like Diddy back in the day, all in the videos, dancing in the videos. That's what Nell Fletcher gives. Just in terms of Diddy, Nell Fletcher just reminds me of someone who has to be seen, who has to be in the mix, who has to be, on everyone's IG stories at the club. She's giving 90s Diddy when it comes to music videos. So we have people like her. I expect her to be okay with filming with Martell, not really caring about Melody's protection. But I want to talk about, everyone who would film with him, who would not, and some wild cards. So in my opinion, Nell Fletcher runs her household. And because she wants to be in the mix and because she would have preferred that Melody stayed with her ex-husband, I would say that she would actually still be willing to film with Martell, which is also really foolish considering Martell has shaded Nell over and over again and has age shamed her and called her the side chick. And because Nell runs her household, she would make Chris Fletcher say that he would go ahead and film with Martell as well. So that's 2 for Martell. Now we all know that Destiny would film with her boo, okay? Her boo, her blast from the past and current times, in my opinion. So Destiny would definitely film with Martell. And I believe that Trish and Ken would film with Martell as well, because Trish would love to be around Martell, to look into his eyes, be in his presence, and hope to turn him on to where he would want to invite her over for TV/working out, working out in a different kind of way. And her man, Ken, would vote for filming with Martell just so that he can at least watch him and not look insecure. Ken is big on making sure you don't think that he's insecure or jealous. So he would totally say, yeah, I could totally film with Martell. And then in my opinion, Trisha cannot stand Melody because she is the former wife of Martell. So those 5 people would film with him. Now, if it came down to it with serious matters, I feel like Marceau would decide, you know what, I'm not going to film with this dude. He keeps trying to embarrass me. He keeps trying to quote unquote expose me. I'm totally done with him. I'm not going to film with him. We all know that Tisha is going to follow her husband's lead. She's not going to object. She's going to go ahead and say she's not going to film with Martell. And they actually should have been on this type of time, in my opinion, between the threat of exposing, and Tisha is so protective of her marriage. Duh, why be down with the one person who is really trying hard and for several seasons to try and expose your marriage? Now, I believe that Sunny would definitely stand on business. As a woman, she would not want to be exposed. I don't know if she's ever done anything similar, like make a tape or, take some photos for that special someone at the time. But I'm sure she has some empathy for Melody. And Sunny is not afraid to speak her mind. We've seen her shade Carlos, verbally as well as on her IG stories. I think she would definitely be down for what is right and to not film with Martell. And then, of course, Melody Cherie Rogers. She dropped the Holt, had a name-changing ceremony. She stood out on faith with an infant, 4 months old, and 4 kids in tow, and left that Negro, rebranded, started her own skincare line after dissolving the first one. She, of course, is ready to not film with Martell Holt. At his kickoff podcast show in Huntsville, Alabama, Melody told Carlos King to his face that Martell needs to go. So those 4 people would not film with Martell. So far, it looks like probably 5 would be down with filming with him and 4 would not. Now, these 3, I consider them to be the wild cards. So you have Maurice Scott. I find Maurice to be a little on the immature side. So if he cannot see what is right and the bigger picture of icing out Martell due to, him getting shaded. Melody's read in the last episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville was epic. So if Maurice is feeling prideful, if he's feeling embarrassed, if he's feeling a little vengeful, he would be down with filming with Martell just to spite Melody. But if his brother Marceau tells him, you know what, man, I know you didn't like what Melody said after you got the DUI, but, do this for me at least if you're not going to do it for her. I'm sick of this man disrespecting me every chance that he gets. And every time he disagrees with me, he wants to say that I'm this cheater, I'm worse of a cheater than him, and threatens to expose. I'm sick of this. He has to learn that he cannot treat people this way and then expect respect in return. So if Marceau could flip Maurice, then it's tied 5-5. And then we all know that Kimmy would definitely follow her husband's lead. She would definitely go in the direction that he would and say, okay, well, I won't film with the good guy. I won't film with him, although he is a good guy, but she would follow her husband's lead, and then it would be the majority of the cast icing him out. And Moses, I'm only considering to be a wild card because we all know, obviously, he is in no position to film, let alone, cast some sort of vote or decision on whether or not to ice out Martell. I think that in private, deep down within, I could see him saying to his wife, Sunny, oh man, I don't want to do him like that. But I think that Sunny would be able to convince him, you have to do what is right if he was in that position. But if Marceau could flip Maurice, then he would have Kimmy, and then it would be 6-5, 6 people saying that they would not film with Martell. Now, this is definitely nothing new, icing someone out. We've seen this on The Real Housewives of Atlanta a couple of times. The first time was during season 5 when Kim Zolciak hardly showed up for filming, or she was showing up late, and she was still getting paid. So the rest of the women, those Black women, they band together. They went to the network Bravo and said, if you're still going to keep her on payroll and she hardly shows up, or we wait for her, she says she's going to go on the cast trip, we rearrange our schedules. Cynthia Bailey lost out on a photo shoot with one of the Black magazines. And Candy could not attend an award show where she was going to be honored for her songwriting efforts. They rearranged all those things for a cash trip when Kim Zolciak said that she could go, only to cancel on them anyway. And when they told her that they missed out on these opportunities, she hardly apologized. She didn't give a damn. So they iced her out and got rid of her. And then 4 seasons later, season 9 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, at that reunion, when Phaedra was outed for starting that rumor about Candy and the DRUGS and Portia, the women band together again for season 10. They told the network Bravo that they were not going to film with Phaedra, and they got Phaedra off of that show for 5 consecutive seasons. We know that she'll be back for Sweet 16, but only because Candy will not. So icing out is definitely effective. Now, the thing is, with this cast of Love and Marriage Huntsville, they seem to be kind of slow when it comes to doing what's right. On The Real Housewives of Atlanta, all those women were outdone by Phaedra starting such a salacious and disgusting lie about Candy, allegedly. So they band together because they would not want that done to them. This cast, however, they chase fame. Some of them definitely need the money on a serious level. So some of them would definitely be down with filming with Martell. But if these 4, we know, definitely Melody is sick of him, but Marceau, Tisha, and Sonny, if they say we're not going to film with Martell, and Marceau can flip Maurice, which is also flipping Kimmy, then they've got the majority of the cast. And then Carlos King's hand would be forced to ice Martell out from filming this show. And this is very important to me. I feel like it is a serious thing. And, I'm just sick of him basically always getting rewarded by nothing changing. And I know that you all have seen this, but, I want to talk about it because it's ridiculous. And it is very serious. There's some serious things happening. Now, the assistant city attorney for Huntsville requested the court to amend Martell's appeal bonds conditions so that he has no contact, direct or indirect, with Melody, unless it's strictly about child custody issues. This comes after Martell contacted Melody asking her why she was talking with the city attorney. This means that Martell was watching Melody, allegedly, or had someone watching her. This is extremely serious. And some people feel it was Destiny who told Martell that Melody was speaking with the city attorney about their upcoming trial, because reportedly Destiny had court last week with LeBaric and may have been on the premises. However, Martell found out whether he follows her around the city of Huntsville and was watching her, or someone tipped him off about Melody speaking to the city attorney. I am just thankful that the city attorney has prioritized Melody's safety. Sometimes Black women are viewed as complainers who cry wolf. So I'm thankful that someone took this seriously, that the city attorney took it seriously, took the stalking seriously. It's very weird and unhealthy to be satisfied with creeping someone else out. I know Martell ain't the brightest bulb in the package, but he knows that asking Melody why she was speaking to the attorney is not only crossing the boundary, crossing the line, as if she is a kid and he is her parent, but Martell is letting Melody know that he was watching her. He wanted Melody to be creeped out. And that, in my opinion, is a stalker, that is stalking, and that is unhealthy. If you have been there, I know that I have. It's awful. And the person, they totally come across as being mentally unstable, and they get off. They get off on knowing that they are upsetting you, that they're making you feel uncomfortable, and that they are creeping you out. And that is the part for me. I'm no psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I cannot prescribe anyone medicine, but just in my opinion, that is the sign of someone who is unhealthy mentally, where you get a satisfaction from knowing that you're creeping someone out. It's one thing for Martell to be watching Melody, following her, or having someone else watch her, and then he has the intel that she's been talking to the city attorney. But it's another thing to show your hand and let her know that you're watching her and you know her whereabouts and you know that she spoke with the city attorney. You just had to let her know. So that satisfied him to know that he was creeping her out. And I don't respect that either. Not only do I find it unhealthy, but I don't respect that as a man. That is beyond bitch ass. And it's like when people create the fake accounts, no real picture, no name, and they try to bother you, haunt you. They're trying to creep you out as well. That's unhealthy. And I always say, is it making you any more money? It should not be orgasmic for you, or that you definitely need to get some professional help. So if it's not those two things, why even do it? Why would Martell have to let her know that he was watching her? So I just think that that is just so unhealthy and ridiculous. And I'm tired of it. As someone who has experienced sexual harassment on the job and has experienced stalking, it's not cool. And I'm so glad that the city attorney is taking it seriously. And I want to thank Urban Bell magazine. They wrote an article about this enhanced no contact order, and then they shared a hyperlink to the motion to revoke the bond. And I'm sure some content creators, they may have read this to you word for word, but if you go to urbanbellmag.com, you'll be able to see this document as well. So, what do you think about the city attorney prioritizing Melody's safety with this enhanced no contact order? What do you think will be the next steps with their upcoming trial? I can only hope that the jurors do the right thing and convict, because he has to know he has to stop the stalking, he has to stop the threatening, and he has to let go of what was, especially when it's his fault that he no longer has the marriage and the wife and the kids all under one roof, healthy and happy. He has to come to terms with his choices, his lustful choices. And I ask that you all continue to keep Melody and her beautiful children in your prayers. Ask for divine protection, and everything is going to be okay. And I thank you all so much for watching this video. Please hit the like button on this video, as it is a free way of supporting the channel. And please subscribe to Show's Style and Spirit if you have not already done so. Well, we are just a day before Thanksgiving. I love the holiday season because I know that it makes so many people happy to be around their family and friends. If you choose solitude on the holiday, or maybe, the bulk of your family has passed away, or maybe you're not close with them, you're not alone. It's not a big deal. You have to do what makes you comfortable and happy. You can always check out a movie, get out of the house for a few hours, or go to your favorite soul food restaurant if they're open, or the day before, and like today, and get some of your favorite items, and then you can warm them up on Thanksgiving Day and still enjoy a great meal. You definitely have options to kick it and have a great time on Thanksgiving Day. And be thankful for what you have. In life. You may experience some setbacks, make mistakes. You're human. Don't beat yourself up, but be thankful for what you do have going on and what is going right. You're alive. Hopefully, I hope all of your needs are met. I hope that you have, the majority portion of your great health. Those are huge things to be thankful for. And I will talk with you all soon. Bye.